Hi guys and welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about phone usage and the impact it can have on our mental health. Now I'm going to start off by saying that phones are an incredible piece of technology. I mean, they have so many capabilities and they can serve us in so many ways. However, it is essential that we are aware of the ways in which they can work against us. And I'm just going to go through a few of those today just to bring to your attention ways in which you might use your technology with a bit more caution and discretion. So, first up is negative comparison. Anyone that is using social media apps on a regular basis knows that they're a great way to keep in touch with people. However, it's very easy to be drawn in by people posting their highlight reels, and feeling inadequate as a result. So it's important to understand that when you're looking at social media representations, that oftentimes they're fictitious, or they're exaggerated, or they're filtered. And so many people follow these kind of inspirational pages. And I always warn people that there's a very thin line between inspiration and intimidation. If you're looking at anyone's page and it makes you reflect anyways badly on yourself, on your life, on your body, on where you're at, well then it's up to you. It's your responsibility to unfollow them. And don't be under the illusion that if you continue to look at their stuff, that it's somehow going to spring you into action and make your life different. If anything, it detracts you from making changes to your own life, because initially you're wasting all of your time just looking at other people, idolizing other people whose lives, as I said, could be pretty basic. Next up, I'm talking about our ability to connect and our ability to be present, both with ourselves and with other people. It's so misfortunate, when you go into restaurants or when you go into bars, or even if you see people hanging out together in the park or whatever, and they're in each other's company, but they're all glued to their own phones. And it really impacts on the level of conversations that we have. It really impacts on the vulnerability that we display with other people and on our ability to create self-awareness. I mean, as long as we're burying our head in our phone, we're avoiding dealing with any of the stuff that's going on for us on an internal level. And it's so much easier as well if we're experiencing any level of conflict in our relationship with others, as opposed to having those difficult conversations, as opposed to resolving conflict, that we just go into avoidant mode, we just go into distraction mode. There's always something there that will take us off the hook, that will mean that we don't have to have those difficult conversations, that we can just wait and hope that it'll pass. And our mental health issues, such as anxiety and depression, so many of them are the result of avoidance, of not dealing with the underlying emotion and turmoil that's going on inside of us, And I think this is where phones are really to our detriment, because, as I said, they always provide a form of escapism. There's always some app, there's always something to look towards. Do you ever find yourself going onto your phone, you flick through Facebook, you flick through Instagram, you flick through Twitter, and then you start all over again? I mean, it is never ending, and the anticipation is always greater than the reward, which brings me on to the dopamine effect. And this is where the real technological stress kicks in, because whether we realize it or not, our phones are designed to be addictive. The apps that we use on our phones are designed to be addictive. They ping off our dopamine receptors, and it's amazing when they've done studies with rats and recreated the effect that our phones have on our brains in rats by putting electrodes on the rats' brains, and basically every time that they'd pull on a lever, they'd get a little tingle. Very quickly, the rats were choosing the dopamine hit that would be similar to your phone usage over food, over sex, over their kids, the little baby rats, and this just shows that because of that addictive nature of our phone usage, that we choose it over other things. We choose it over interacting with other people. We choose it over engaging with our children. And oftentimes we choose it over engaging with ourselves. And as if that wasn't enough, it also impacts on our motivation to learn new things or to utilize our brain. I mean, can you remember the last time that you did some mental calculation without taking your phone out of your pocket, you know? And I mean, it's so important that we utilize the cognitive and troubleshooting part of our brains because, you know, it's proven in the prevention of Alzheimer's. I mean, it's just needed for overall brain health. Not only that, lifelong learning is part of what is required for self-actualization, which is the ability to feel that you're living a fulfilling and purposeful life. So as long as you're buried in useless trivia on the phone, looking at other people's pictures, I mean, it's basically such a waste of your mental ability when there is so much out there in the world to be explored, to discover, to learn about, and yet we're draining it all and putting it all into our phones. When you're in the company of others, put the goddamn phone away. I mean, I cannot emphasize this enough with people because we're sending out really powerful messages when we arrange to meet somebody for lunch, and as soon as we sit down, we have our phones out there. It's basically saying, okay, what's on my screen is more important than what you have to say. You know, it's quite insulting. As well as that, bear in mind that your ability to be vulnerable, your ability to share and connect is completely impaired when your phone is on the table. Even if your phone is face down and turned off, it's the potential of a distraction, it's the potential of something better available to you that detracts you from opening up to the person whose company that you're in. So these are just a few things that can help you regulate your phone usage. Bear in mind as well that the sound notifications are a big trigger for us when it comes to the dopamine receptors. So having the sound turned off as regularly as possible, particularly when you're engaging with other people, or if you have something that you really need to focus on work-wise, is so important. Get wise about your technology. Use it to your benefit. There is so much inspirational stuff out there. There is so much to be learned using the internet and using our apps and using our phone. However, there is so much it detracts from our life as well. If you are struggling in any way, shape or form with your mental health, get in touch on the website. It's fundamentals.ie. You can also get me on Instagram or Facebook or on my YouTube channel. Go check it out. I have lots of videos talking about mental health, how to find a more purposeful way of living. The channel is called Fiona Feely, so check it out, subscribe, like, share, lots of useful content there. I've also a podcast on iTunes and Spotify. I actually have a really good episode about the toxicity of our phone usage and the concept of techno stress. It's with Neil O'Brien. As I said, go check it out. iTunes, Spotify, subscribe and let me know what you think. Talk again soon.